Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL One Battlefield 4 Spring Finals. If you've just joined us, you've missed out on a cracking game between Fnatic and Legionnaires, but fear not, we have plenty more Battlefield action for you. Let us quickly have a little bit of a recap of our groups, of course. Group A, of some games which we've already seen, featured Fnatic, featured the Legionnaires, obviously down the bottom there, InFamous and Epsilon. Group B will be Mecha Makers, SK Gaming, MHSV and Dexterity. We'll be seeing that one a little bit later on. Now, if you're sitting at home watching and want to get involved in the action, maybe even make your predictions, you can do so over at ESL-1.com/battlefield. Obviously, our ESL One Battlefield page, you can quite easily vote and put your bet in over there. And the second game of the day is going to be featuring Epsilon going up against the French team InFamous. And before we jump into it, let's have a little bit of a chat. We're going to be speaking with Rella from Team InFamous first up. Thank you, Rella, for joining me here. Now, you guys are obviously being one of two French teams here at this event. You're definitely known for often more aggressive play styles. How do you guys feel like that has worked for you this season? Obviously, you're here, so it must have been okay. And how do you think it's going to work against a team like Epsilon?
Well, yeah, there are two big playstyles right now on Battlefield. People like Fnatic, who pushes a lot, and RSK, and people who have more defensive game style, like MYM, I would say. And we have this game style. First reason is because it needs like less preparation, because you can more run around and just basic team play reflexes that are going on. And so we are here as a mix in some way. So we need this game style to be effective, because we will need so much more preparation to have a more classical game style. And we have no this preparation right now, because two of our players couldn't be there. So that's how it's going to work right now, more feeling game style.
So again, how does it impact your game style when you obviously have had changes to your team? Legionnaires as well, we're missing 3 of their main lineup. Does that change your style in a big way, or do you just try and go with the InFamous style of play?
Yeah, well, it depends how much players you're changing. In our case, it's 2 players, and there's a core of 3 players remaining. So no, it's not changing game style, but it's changing the efficiency, because there are some basic moves that people are used to do together, and they have to be explained to the 2 new players. And so, of course, there is less, I would say, less synchronization in the rush. For example, if you want to take a point, one guy will be late for 2 seconds when he's going to push on some point. And of course, these 2 seconds are going to make a lot of difference, because he's not going to be able to backshoot the guy had to backshoot. So it can make a lot of difference. Even for the core players, it can make a lot of difference, and we'll do what we can with this.
Well, I look forward to seeing how this new game style comes out on the battlefield. Now, is there anything you wanted to say before we get involved to your fans or friends or family? Anything before you jump in?
You mean a message to address? I want to say hello to Zuzu, which is our main pusher usually. He's not 18 yet, so he couldn't come. And yeah, I want to say hello to InFamous also, InFamous guys who are watching us maybe. And yeah, that's all I have to say right now.
Thank you very much, Rella, for joining me on the stage. All the best to you and your team. Take your places. Well, it's time to meet our 4th team for today. It's going to be Epsilon Gaming, and of course, Safe be their representative. Safe, thank you for joining me here on the stage.
Thank you.
So, are you cold today? You got a jumper on. Is it a cold in Cologne for you?
It's David's shirt, so I have to wear something because I didn't get anything from Epsilon yet. So
Well, we'll see if we can change that. We'll see after today.
you probably heard me now, so
I'm sure we might be able to mix that up there. Look, you guys obviously are known as being a fairly well-drilled team, quite strategic, that's the word, in your approach to the game. Now, tell me, how does that work out against a typically more aggressive team like, obviously, InFamous? We know they like to sort of try and berserk and play quite hard. How do you guys usually respond to that style of play?
well, we do have problems against teams that play aggressive. We try to study them a lot, do our best how to encounter them. So it's all about team play, and usually it's easy to play against aggressive teams if you let them play your game. So we have prepared something, and hopefully it's going to work out.
Now, obviously, you yourself have come across from some big Battlefield teams in the past, Recent Gaming and MYM especially. How is being a part of Epsilon different to, let's say, MYM? What's the style or the atmosphere? How has it changed now?
Well, everything is different, like the style, the atmosphere. Both teams, they have really great players. Epsilon, we just click together. Everything is perfect. We are really good friends. We have the same humor. So yeah, it's good. I like it a lot.
As I'm already seeing plenty of that humour come out now from you guys sitting down. Look, is there anything you'd like to say to the friends or your crowd or even your family at home before you guys get started?
Well, support us, guys. We're gonna do it tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Safe, and good luck to you and your team. Everything is perfect, says the man. Let's see if that is actually the case. It's time to pass over to Brett FX, a machine at the caster's desk, to break this one down for us. Take it away, gents.
All right, well, welcome back, guys. Yeah, that is definitely going to be an interesting match coming up. I do agree with what Epsilon was saying there in terms of they had a little bit of trouble with aggressive teams, but I think they're going to be pretty darn decent. I think they're the favorite in this match. But anyways, guys, as you have already noticed before, I am Brett FX, and I am joined here by another face.
I'm not really Alex, that's
This is
for
not
sure.
Alex. Well, I don't know. Dark hair. Might be.
Close.
Anyways, I'm joined by Milos, the medic. Milos, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty fine here, having fun in Cologne here today. It's pretty nice. Weather is pretty lovely, and we have a lot of BF4 lined up for these couple of days here, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of fun with all the games that we have, especially now with Epsilon and InFamous.
Yeah.
Because they have so many different styles of play. It's really going to surprise even us that have been really used to watching them and seeing how they can adapt to certain different tactics on different maps.
Well, I think that we're going to be seeing InFamous at a disadvantage for the majority of this match. I think that Epsilon is in a pretty good place overall, and it's going to be up to InFamous to step up and try and take this particular game. They've got to be able to come out with a statement. They're in the same group as Fnatic, so even if they take down Epsilon, they're going to have to take down the #1 team overall. That's going to be a pretty big hurdle to have to jump across. But definitely should be a pretty interesting matchup coming up here for InFamous and Epsilon both. Not really sure when the map picks are going to be coming up here pretty soon, but that is going to be pretty curious. I really looking forward to what kind of maps they're going to be seeing. I hope that Epsilon is going to be picking lockers. I hope that we get to see them on that.
Oh, yes.
They are very, very good. I think Epsilon on lockers is the only team I think that can hang with Epsilon on lockers would be Fnatic. I mean, Epsilon lockers is just so darn good.
However, when you have a player like Mayek, he really likes to stay on the outside of the map, really waiting and watching the helipad on his own from a US spawn, and then Safe running around with an Ace WR, trying to take down everybody over at B flag. But we're gonna see what's gonna happen if they even pick Operation Lockers.
Well, the Safe Mayek combo is really good. Last couple of cups that we've seen them in, they have played fantastically well together. They've definitely shown to be one of those dynamic duos in the actual team to be able to hold on their end of the map. We've seen them basically by themselves against 4 other guys, holding it on, no problems at all.
Yep.
Communication between those two, I guess they're just in sync at another level. So really interested to see how those guys are going to be playing out. But on the InFamous side of things, I am so sorry. On the InFamous side of things, they are not going to be their full crew, as they stated before. I think Zozo or
Zuzu isn't here.
Rather, isn't going to be here, so that's going to be a little bit of a hit to them. But InFamous has been very up and down this entire season. I mean, they've kind of been like, they're going to look like they're going to be doing something, and then they don't show up.
Well, it really depends on how they're really practicing, because before they changed lineups.
And it looks like we are going to be going to a map veto here pretty soon, so let's go ahead and check that out on the main stage. Look at them up there. Epsilon looking so good. Look how big David is.
No, but Safe looks pretty nice, I have to say.
Well, yeah, it's because he works out.
Oh, yeah.
So we are going to be seeing Parasol Storm getting vetoed right from the start from Epsilon. I think that's not really surprising.
Lanking, not surprising.
God, we're not seeing Lanking. Damn, man. I have to say that map is just... Ooh. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing. I think that we're going to be seeing maybe a Locker and Zavad being used at least. There's Golden Railway. Yeah,
I'd like to see Zavad with Epsilon, because when they played it. Oh, there we go. Dawnbreaker out. Even though it's a pretty decent map, however, it can end in 3 caps quite easily.
Yeah.
But Zavad first, Locker in Shanghai. I think we have a pretty.
Well, we're going to be getting our picks here pretty soon, so it does look like Locker will be for Epsilon's pick. I mean, that was pretty much going to be the case. CG Shanghai being the pick right now for InFamous.
There we go.
I'm not too surprised to see that. InFamous, they were basically told that, they're a very aggressive team. InFamous being the team that actually coined the FAMAS play, back when the FAMAS was actually still allowed in ESL One. They were the first team to actually bring that out. They dominated their first match. People were like, what is this? Who are these guys? And how are they able to do this amount of damage? So with them coming on to Siege Shanghai, I think it's going to be working towards them. They are a very aggressive team. I think that that's going to be the map that they have to make the plays on. Zavod, that's going to be a tough one. Epsilon's fairly decent there onto Zavod. I think that for a third map, it's a pretty good pick.
It's equal. However, Epsilon, the only team that has been able to take them down on a map like Zavod was probably MHSV when they played the multiple cups for ESL. And the games were very, very tight, going down to maybe the last 5 tickets. Hell, we had one with 2 tickets at the last second that was taken from Epsilon. Really fantastic plays to be had. But that's, as you were saying, Lockers definitely going to go towards Epsilon here. Let's see if they can really turn it to their side.
Yeah, and for Lockers, what are you expecting that we're actually going to be seeing in terms of their loadouts? I mean, most of the time we do see maybe 1 or 2 Engies, but where are they actually going to be placing those engineers?
Well, engineers maybe outside if you have 2 people trying to guard the helipad here at Charlie Flag. Maybe having 1 person with an AK or an Ace-23 to try to pick off people at range. Even we've seen that from Punchruler sometimes from MYM that pulls out the M16A4 and really snipes people across the map with that thing. It's very, very accurate. We've seen that multiple times. Yeah. But the MBT lost to destroy the cover on the outside of Charlie and maybe inside in between the passes when try to push from A towards B, trying to destroy those cells and create some extra rooms to get some preparation, some information on what's going in the inside of the map, actually. So maybe running 1 engineer, not all the time, but from time to time would work fairly well for any one of the 2 teams, especially now InFamous being the not so favored, as to say, on Operation Lockers. I mean, I'm sure there's going to see Safe pick out the ACWR, always in the middle of the map, trying to push from A to B, always on those sides. David actually with Maik, pretty good combo, coming in from the outside of the map, trying to flank all the way to A to B, trying to push from one side to the other. And it's really going to end up about the spawns and how you can control them. Turning a triple cap on this map is very difficult. However, getting an AB hold or an AC hold would be pretty decent for any one of the 2 teams.
Yeah, definitely on this particular map, you want to be looking at it either an AB or an AC hold. That's going to be your best bet overall. You want to kind of stay away from Bravo for the most part. It does look like we have everybody in the server, so hopefully we're going to be here pretty soon going live. But yeah, looking at the rosters, we are going to be seeing David, Duke, Hork, Meg, and Safe, all for the Epsilon squad. Pretty standard. We've seen them all season long. Oh, yeah. This same exact setup, and they have done amazingly well with the setup. I think overall, Maik being, I guess you could say, or not Maik, but Safe being the newest recruit on that particular team. And as we said, he fits in there very, very well. On the InFamous side, we do have Krima, really, Tony, Zam, and...
I can't even read that.
Yaslajar?
I don't even know.
Yasiliajar?
Yasin, yeah, there we go, Yasin. That I can go with.
We're going with it.
We're going with that.
He could be mad at me later. I'm sorry, man. But
on the InFamous side, man, I really like Zam's play. He's very aggressive, very, very aggressive. Likes to peek those corners and then jump out of the corner with an AEK, take a couple people down, and then keep pushing on the other side of the map. Really, really the harassment player here for a team like InFamous. It's going to be difficult for him to take down Safe. However, I mean, even if we're on land here in Cologne, playing, French Hitreg is always working pretty well for a team like InFamous, especially for Zam. Yeah. Rella, well known in the community, pretty darn strong there, can do quite a bit of damage. However, Yasin, I've probably never seen him.
Well, right now we are live at the moment. We are going to be seeing First Bloods going over here towards InFamous for the time being. Nice pickup there from Tony, as he's going to be able to clear out on the lower B. we are going to be seeing B flag still in the possession here of Epsilon, so they will be able to keep that burn in their favor. But really liking the aggression that was coming out from InFamous. They just need to start getting a little bit more of their frags in their favor, and that's what really is going to be able to do, taking down Duke from behind, as we are going to be seeing them trying to force their way onto the top side of that Bravo point, but not able to do so. David 2K, though, coming back in, will be able to get the nice little burn onto that Alpha burn. And that's one of the things that David and Hork are really, really good at, is getting in back behind team lines, being able to go for those back caps.
Oh,
look at David with the
the double.
Beautiful job
and
right
Yassine
there.
that was extremely well done. However, the thing with Yassine, he wasn't really pushing on the outside. He had the spot to push onto C. Nobody was contesting there, but that really cost him there. And David and his buddies are just going to rush all the way into Alpha and clear it out. Zam, no way he's going to be able to take down Safe, David, and Duke at the same time. But look at that mass spawn from InFamous right outside of B. One taken down, and the second is going to pretty much pick him back up. But you see Duke is still up.
I just want to stick on board with David right now. He's 5-1. He's in a fairly decent position here. We do see 3 players potentially pushing over here inside curve. It does look like Kremer, though, he is going to be going out towards C. But there it is, David poking it out. He will be in a one-on-one. No, he does lose that. That's the caster's curse right there.
Hodak actually held out the outside, but Kremer, there we go, taken out. An extra person spawning back at him. Rella coming in from behind. We'll take out Horak. Can he finish off the second guy? Turning around. There's too many rocks. Getting stuck and everything here, but he is on Charlie, and Mayek is going to retreat. Maybe wait until he gets a spawn on him with Horak.
Yeah.
Before he pushes, but there we go. Takes out Rella. A bit too aggressive there, and Charlie's going to remain in the hands of Epsilon. Same for A. So an AC hold or an AB hold. They're both very, very good. And the reason a BC hold is difficult to keep for your team is because of that spacing. You don't have a lot of corners to peek and try to take people out. And Duke there, he's really going to trade it out with Zam and Safe getting taken down, but InFamous really halted and set in their spot. 142 to 90 tickets. Epsilon are playing this fantastically here, not rushing too much, knowing when to go from the sides, winning the one-on-one engagements.
Right now, we do have a big push that's going to be coming out. Mayek, the only defense right here for Epsilon. He's not going to be able to make it happen. 4 players there pushing out to that C site from InFamous, as they will be giving up basically B for free. And it's going to be up to Epsilon to try and hold on to this A site, as InFamous will be rotating back around onto back Alpha. We do have Krema leading the charge along with Tony. And InFamous really does need to do something here pretty soon. The 81 tickets is not too bad. They will be able to somewhat fight their way back, but Mayek with a nice little trade out there. It's going to be up
the
to
incendiary.
Duke here.
Just frying Krema out. Zam is going to try to push onto A. He's got Krema and Tony to help him out. There's David, and then there's Duke in the lab in the back. And I know a lot of people like to call it kitchen, but it is pretty much a lab. It's going to take out one there. David being lost and Zam getting shot down. Nice trade off there, but mass spawns from InFamous. Really not focusing on the other flags. They're just going to leave Rella, and they're going to keep hammering A until they have something out of it. But Krema's still alive. We'll take out one. We'll take out the second, and it's a clear on A. He's going to get a couple revives and continue on his merry way all the way to Bravo. He's expecting, well, Zam's actually going to respawn behind B, and Epsilon stuck with Charlie for quite some time now if they can't really push out immediately.
This isn't too bad there for Epsilon, though. They ended up getting those back C spawns coming out with that particular flag cap, but they're going to be in a great position here onto A site to try and get a nice little pick. We do see Yasser right here trying to hold on. He is going to be going in back and forth with Mayek currently here with those incendiaries, and he will be able to come out on top. Nice play there against Mayek. Tony also taken down Safe as well, so that is going to be a successful hold there onto that Alpha burn. That is really, really a big deal.
But look at Epsilon. Immediately going for B. As soon as they saw that there's a lot of infantrymen, well, obviously infantrymen, but a lot of players from InFamous stationed on A, they immediately push for B and utilize the amount of time that they have to go there. But now InFamous are going to rotate on to Charlie maybe and try to take that and really not focus on A too much. Rella is all by himself.
Yeah, the problem
David
right now is the fact that really is all by himself. I mean, he is going to hold that on with that 93R.
Nice.
That was a really good play, but he is kind of alone there. We do see more spawns coming back in, so they will be having a fairly decent defense. And yeah, Epsilon sees this. They're like, hey, you know what? Maybe we need to be going out towards that Charlie flag. Mayek will be coming back out with his teammate. Will be interesting as Tony is sitting up on top of Fan, picking up at least one. Now it's going to be up to Being taken down as well. So we are going to be seeing C-Site now starting to switch back over as Krema will be up on top onto the mountain. And
I was going to get shot down immediately. No way there to push. There's a couple guys from Epsilon all pointing assault rifles at you. I don't think it's going to work out too well. David here trying to push on to Rella, but he's oh, there we go. Nice shot through the kitchen. or the lab, and is going to be able to take Charlie or Alpha back in the hands of Epsilon. And a nice straight out.
Two-piece right there from Safe, really locking it down on that B site. We'll see if he can actually take down Tony here in just a bit, as nope, Tony is going to be able to stay alive. We do have Duke PT now pushing back in onto that B flag as well, taking down to Zam, 111-38, and this is definitely not a position that InFamous
takes out a
wants to be
second
in.
there.
They need to be able to do something pretty soon. Duke trying to get the Magnum kill, not able to do so. You know, Epsilon, they just need to lock this down. They need to stop playing a little bit, you know, aggressively over there onto that B side. If they can, for the most part, just get a couple of their frags, which they are going to be in a big fight here onto that C site. We do see Horik getting picked up. So InFamous really doing really good out there on that C side.
Oh, and another pick there. That's going to be Zom to pick off Mayek and try to force out any push towards Charlie. That's pretty darn good, but immediately InFamous rotating 3 players onto B, trying to get the defense. Safe with the ACWR, trying to contest here. Will take out one with a nice headshot on the Tony. Very good aim there. Just immediately onto the head, but Yas is going to get shot down. Mayek is still on his own. There's an incendiary next to him, but he does not care about that. Zam is going to get shot down, and B in the hands of Epsilon again, 103-22. Holding A and B. I think they might be able to take it here if they just spread out. Especially Yas on InFamous' side, not that aggressive when it's time to push on the flags. And even though you can frag with the best, but if you don't take control of those flags and get the flag burden to your side, I don't think you're going to be doing too much there.
Well, Safe right now is going to be in a one-on-one. He does trade out. Nobody's going to be able to get onto that C flag. At the same time, we see a big push coming in onto the Alpha flag. It's going to be Tony making his way back in. Was he able to get the kill? Doesn't look like he has been able to just yet. Will be able to take him down. Nice play there from Tony as he does secure that Alpha point. We'll be able to get those reses as well. C and A now in their possession. And at this point right here, all they are looking to do is just drag those tickets down as much as possible. They know they're not going to get the win, but they need to be able to get those tickets down to at least 70, maybe even 60 if they possibly can. And you can do that here on Lockers, as we will be seeing Really already setting up on top of Fan. He's going to be ready for the push onto that Charlie flag. We'll be able to spot
takes
out one.
Takes
them out. Nice play there. But unfortunately, both players from InFamous going down. And at this situation here, you're not going to be able to spawn back in. They have 4 tickets left. They have 3 more spawns that they can use, and that is going to be it.
Oh, but nice pick there. Karma is going to pick out 1 player from Epsilon. Picks out the 2, but that's a trade. That's a very good trade. Epsilon now have to dump tickets on those respawns if they want to keep this hold and just not allow InFamous to keep this in their hands. Because as you were saying, they're just picking out those tickets here and there, try to bring it back, and they're already at 77. With just losing a couple of tickets there, they drop down over 20. Very well played until now, but Epsilon are just pushing onto A. There's really not a lot. Zam getting shot from all sides. No, not a lot to do there. Tony just pushes in, but there you go. Duke, oh, there we go. Takes out Duke, but it's already too late.
Yeah, that was a good game right there. 72-0 in favor of Epsilon. You know, InFamous started to heat it up there towards the end. Definitely looking forward to what they're going to be doing in round number 2. If they can start playing like they were at the very end, then that's going to help out tremendously. If you're taking a look right now at the KDs, not too bad for either team. I mean, really nobody going massively negative, nobody going massively positive. I mean, on the Epsilon side, we did see Safe going 16-8.
15-6 on David.
Yeah, 15-15 though for Duke. Mayek going 12-11, 10-6 there for Horik. Krema 11-12, Tony 14-11. Zam 13-11, 10-10 there for Really, and 5-9. So I mean, like I said, not really that bad across the board in terms of frags, and they're able to just pretty much hang in there for the most part there towards the end. It really came down to the fact of that massive bleed that Epsilon had at the very beginning.
Yep.
That's what really hurt them in this situation.
And that's the thing with Epsilon. They have these early pushes that immediately go into the flags. They take hold of it, and we all know the ticket bleed in Battlefield 4 is pretty darn strong. So if you have 2 out of the 3 flags, even just that, it's enough to drop down tickets from any team quite a bit, especially since Epsilon held it for well over a minute there. InFamous tried to pick in from one side or the other, but it was really not enough, as we're seeing them here trying to recuperate their getting back together. Hopefully seeing Yassine being a bit more aggressive in the pushes. He doesn't have the correct reactions. Maybe seeing one of the flags is a bit scary, is going to get picked off, but sometimes you have to take that risk. you never know. Maybe Charlie is completely free, and you get that flag for your side.
Well, that's his confidence right there in your team and able to get those frags when they need to. I mean, really what we're going to be seeing here, I think, from InFamous is coming in on the communication level. They need to start talking a lot better. Their shot callers need to be a little bit better. But, I mean, towards the end of that first round, that's exactly what they were doing. They were rotating very well. They were able to lock it down. We saw them doing a very, very good job there on that alpha flag, and a couple of times they were able to attack it and actually get the point and take it back from Epsilon from a fairly decent defensive point from Epsilon. So if InFamous can keep getting those frags, those entry frags coming into flags, and if they can actually lock something down, I think InFamous needs to go for an A-B hold here. They need to try and force Epsilon outside of the map, make them come in through those tunnels, and just basically punish them every single time they try to come back inside the map. Now, in order to do that, you have to make sure that you have a guy on that B flag that is going to be able to have really, really good frags his way. He has got to be able to get those frags from those spawns on back B. If you can't do that, then that hold is pretty much non-existent. You don't want to go for that at all. But we saw multiple times that they were able to lock them out, very, very short amount of times, but enough to get them back into that bleed. You know, there at the end, they had a fairly decent bleed, which I think it was about 20 tickets or so.
Yeah,
I think it was like 90. Yeah, I think it was like 98-4.
Something like 25 tickets and just 2 that they lost. Yeah. If they can play this well, because you were saying at the end, they were focusing, and InFamous focused back, and they pushed back into the game, and they got something out of it. And at this point, you can't be too sad because you're playing against a team like Epsilon, especially on what I would say their best map. This makes it even more difficult for InFamous, and the best thing they can do, if not tie out or win out the second round, and well, the first point here for them in best out of 3, but at least try to break the momentum of Epsilon, because if they lose this map and Epsilon has quite a bit of a ticket lead on the second round, they're going to go into the second map very, very content with their plays, and they're going to have a lot of energy to go to on Siege of Shanghai. That's not an Epsilon team you want to be facing.
Yeah, but Epsilon in the past has been kind of, they're kind of like flip a coin on Siege of Shanghai. Sometimes they do well, sometimes they don't. So, I mean, I really don't think that InFamous is going to be too awful worried, especially after the showing that they just had there at the end of that first round on lockers. So even if they drop this map right here, I think that they should be going into Siege of Shanghai fairly confident. I mean, that's why they picked that map, because they are comfortable with it, and they know that Epsilon does struggle, and they have struggled in the past with it. So I really don't see any problems with them going into map number 2. Now, if it goes to a map number 3, yes, InFamous has got to be worried, because Zavod is going to be a really back and forth. I think that Epsilon, it's not one of Epsilon's best maps, but I think that Epsilon will be better on that map than InFamous.
Well, from what I've seen in the past, especially on Zavod, Epsilon are the kind of team that pushes out very, very well from the start. But then from the middle to the end of the game, they start to fall apart, especially on Zavod. And that almost cost them games before versus teams like, well, I'm going to keep saying it, but MHSV, which I think is a very good map for them. Mm-hmm. We'll be seeing them later on today, but I really wanted to go into map 3 here. InFamous, a very proficient team, even though their lineups have not been the most consistent, that's for sure. It has to be a launching pad onto the next season, trying to get that player, those couple of players that they need to really cement the gameplay and the team play that they need to play against top-tier teams like Epsilon and Fnatic and SK, etc.
Yeah, well, that's been a problem though with a lot of teams here recently, is that unless you're the top 4 teams out there, you really don't have a solid lineup. It's been kind of back and forth shaky, and you got to commend, InFamous for doing what they're able to do with a lineup like they have. Not being able to have their full 5 starters every single time, and not being able to have a full 5 starters for the entire season. I don't think they've had their full 5 starters for the entire season. I think they at the very beginning they kind of switched off a couple of players here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I have to say. Yes, that is exactly true.
Yeah. So
they weren't that consistent.
Yeah, even still, they haven't had the same lineup for a month now. Yeah, they're going to be able to come back here in this next round. I think that we should be going live. Yes, we are. So we are going to be switching sides right now. We do have Epsilon on the Russian side. The US side will be over here for InFamous. InFamous getting the harder breakout side, and the harder side overall for this particular map. And the reason being is because of those back B spawns. You really, really want to get out of them as fast as possible. There is a couple of plays that you can't come out of this. Do you think Epsilon's going to go for a very aggressive B push right from the start, try and clear InFamous from B, get control of Alpha and Bravo right from the beginning?
Well, I'm pretty sure that they're going to send a couple people down up to Charlie and maybe try to push one of those players onto B. But maybe going for a 3 push onto A or 2 onto A and 1 from the middle and try to get some control there. But I'm pretty sure that Safe's going to be leading the charge here for Epsilon, as he is always doing. And that is the case. We see 3 people going down on A. One's going to wait. There we go, going for mid, and 2 guys going all the way to Charlie. So that was pretty well called, I have to say, for once. Duke pulling out at the 44, trying to pull a lucky headshot there, but not going to work too well. Charlie being contested, and the first frag is going to go in. David to get taken out, and Horig's actually running an engineer kit. This is something that we have not seen in the first map. I mean, trying to break out and destroy that cover.
That's a pretty standard play, though, going out with that Engie kit for that particular side. We normally do see Epsilon running that engineer kit on this particular map, at least one of those players, but it does look like Yasili will be taken down there onto that C side. So Epsilon will be able to get control of that Charlie flag, but nobody's back home on A. They're not leaving anybody back for the defense. They are going to be stuck outside once again, and this is where at the very end of that first round, they got in trouble.
Yep.
So we might be seeing actually InFamous coming back. Right now, Krima is going to be able to do the work, getting a nice two-piece,
double,
locking it up. Nice job. Able to get the third? No, not quite.
And there we go. That's going to be a clear.
Yeah,
that cost them some time there. That's a few more tickets. That's how you have to play against teams like this. These couple of tickets really matter quite a bit, as Epsilon did go in with, well, 70-some tickets on their side. And that's safe to clear out Rella. Duke pushing in as well. They're in control of A, but Charlie's going to get pushed immediately. Zom has got Tony to help out at the behind there. David still, well, actually, he's running Ace 21 with an MBT Law, really confirming their roles as engineers. And Horik is pushing again with an engineer kit with a small. They're going to try to push on to Charlie, but they don't really have too much help here. Tony's going to try to pick off one, and there you go. A nice shot on to David. Will clear him out. Same for Zom, and they're going to keep control of Bravo and Charlie. A more difficult hold to keep, but it's not impossible. They need that momentum, and they're starting to gather the momentum.
They just need to get a 2-flag burn. That's what they need to do. They need to get out of this. And, you know, right now, they have that lead. They're 137, 117 up right now, but remember, they have that 72-ticket deficit that they have to beat out. That right there is giving Epsilon a lot of leeway, a lot of confidence, I would have to say, to kind of do some stupid stuff, get a little bit aggressive right now. We are going to be seeing, though, a potential push coming out onto that C flag. It will be Yasili here for the stop. Possibly, it looks like, no, Epsilon, not really sure where they want to go. We do have Safe now coming over here into Curve, but yeah, the 3 of them, they're just kind of like,
there we go.
Where do we go, guys?
Don't know where to go.
Tony will be able to pick up at least one. He trades out, so there is the first push that will be coming in onto that A site. Looks like Zam already ready for it. Missing out on the shots, so those are crucial shots.
Oh, 94 assist there for Duke. Oh my God, May coming in from the side as well is going to clear it out on A, and there was just miscommunication from InFamous on A flag. That's going to be Yas to fall out, as well as Tony, with Krema still up on Charlie. But this is the thing that you did not want. They're going to force the respawns on the outside of the map or on those sides, which are very, very detrimental for InFamous. They had the early break, but only 20-some tickets in their hands. It's going to be very difficult to keep this in mind here. Rella is going to get shot down as well. David with a double. And Yas is trying to clear out the side here before, well, trying to contest David and Meg, but they're both getting some shots down range. Zom getting shot down, making a very good position here to clear out as many as possible, as InFamous are just spawning brigade after brigade, trying to retain, but only one player is able to push them back so much.
Well, right there, though, that's exactly what Epsilon wanted to do. I mean, all they had to do was bottle them up at the backside of B, get the, yeah, okay, we're going to lose Bravo. That's fine. We'll go ahead and rotate out to C, which is exactly what they did. You see David 2K able to win out on that particular fight. He actually might be able to run into one more. Oh, he does get taken down. Safe, though, up above. We'll be able to get Karima, but it's not enough, as we do have Yasili as well as Tony coming back in with the reses and the burn air onto that C side. 102 to 102. We're all evened up. And as I said again, Epsilon, if they can keep it evened up, that's fine for them. They have that 72 tickets from the first round, so this is not in a bad position for them. I do disagree right now with the fact that they are leaving A fairly open at the moment. We do have them, though, taking control of that Bravo flag. Horik will be making his way over here, actually, onto that Alpha flag to try and possibly stop this burn that's going to be happening. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case, as they may just go ahead and rotate out to that Charlie flag. Yasili will be the only man for InFamous. Let's see if he can hold on to it right now. No push just
in a
yet.
pretty
Oh
good
my
spot.
God, 4 players will be able to pick up one.
Uh-oh.
Looking for the second one. He gets a couple of spawns coming in.
No, he's gonna get shut down.
Nobody else is going to get taken down there. That was a bit of a fail almost, as we will be seeing 99 or 98 to 88 in favor here of InFamous.
Well, the guys here are InFamous. They have the hold on only A at this point, and it's not going to be very difficult for Epsilon to hold this kind of thing. I mean, Tony is sitting back. He's trying to get the hold before trying to get people outside. There you go, gets the pick on the Duke from Epsilon. And Zam's going to jump in right in the middle, getting the pick on Safe, and that's a very important frag there, slowing the momentum of Epsilon. But Make is going to get the quick revive just to try to bait it out, and they're both going to stay alive. Zam taken down, but InFamous in hold of B. Perfect rotation. They saw so many players from Epsilon locked up on the outside of the map. They just said, you know, let's just rush for B, and they got control, and they're going to keep bleeding tickets. As you were saying, it's back and forth all the time, and it's really not what I had expected after the plays from game 1.
Well, you know, right now, yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. You know, InFamous showed up there at the end of round number 1. If they could have done this at round number 1, it'd be, you know, totally different. But right now, InFamous, they just need to push in onto one flag. They don't need to be trying to stretch their way out, hitting 2 flags at the same time, worried about their frags at the moment or their deaths. It's 87-70. Just close it out. Just close it out. You have about 12, 15 tickets left. And if they could have one really solid push here onto that Bravo flag, well, we do see 4 players now starting to transition over. But this is the problem right now with Epsilon playing very slow. And we have seen this with teams that get out to a lead. They really don't know where to push in. They play a little bit too safe at times. But honestly, they just need to go right for the kill, go for B, go for A with a big 4-man push and be done with it.
Well, they were trying, but you know, Safe was trying to get the save there on the B, but it really wasn't working too well. His buddy taken down as well. He's going to get shut down again as David is trying to contest, but Tony in such a good spot on the outside, just holding it down. It's going to delay the pushes. InFamous here have a lot of time to rotate from one flag to the other, but Mayak will take out Zam. That's going to allow Epsilon to push all the way on A. That's such a nice frag there. Really important push. He's going to try to get some squad spawns back on him as Safe is getting ready to spawn back in. It's going to help him out. Duke spawning in, trying to push on to B, and there we go. They opened up the floodgates. Safe is in. Duke is going back to A. He's got David to help him out. And Safe's just going to go and cap as a B spawn is coming up for the guys from Epsilon.
They have got to make a
InFamous
play, yeah, right now. 84-39. We are going to be seeing InFamous trying to get control of that Bravo flag. Big fight coming back in. We do see really up top. Needs to be able to get this burn on Bravo as quickly as possible. Picks up one, possibly the second one. No 93R. But we do have a back rage right now from Usili. Nice pick up there on top of Safe. We'll be able to clean out that B side. Now we do have a rotate from Horik potentially coming in onto Charlie, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here to actually get the burn pretty soon. There's 2 players outside. And this is actually a doable position here for InFamous as Horik gets taken down. That's going to be Zam with a beautiful pickup right there. And he is basically behind enemy lines there on top of that alpha burn. Not going to be able to get the pickup. But, you know, if they can stay alive, if they can get these reses, it's going to be really important. They can win this. 27 tickets right now for Epsilon. Safe trying to find some chink in the armor to come back in onto that C side. At the same time, we do have a big fight onto that Bravo flag. Yasili will be up top, spots out 2 players down below, will trade out with 1. And that's going to be a B cap, and that might be the
nail
right
in the coffin there. It's going to be very difficult to come back into this. InFamous trying to push on to A. Nice frag there. Make is going to get shot down. Duke. Oh, he's going to try it out there. Trying to duke out with Rella, but he's going to get taken out. David pushing in from behind. He's going to take out 1. And in control of the flag.
That's
Epsilon.
It. Locked it down with a
GG.
2-piece. That finished out map number 1. We will be seeing Epsilon up 1-0 in the best of 3 here as we will be moving on into Siege of Shanghai. And, you know, if we see... Honestly, if we see InFamous playing like they did in that map, that is going to be actually, I think that they can lock that down. I think they can actually take Siege of Shanghai because they were going frag for frag almost the entire time. Had we switched, you know, rounds, that was going down to the wire. I mean, we're possibly looking at a 10-ticket game right there, maybe even lower.
Something like that, yes.
You know, to come in for that round. So I think that they have a very, very good opportunity here on Siege of Shanghai to make a comeback, take this to a map number 3. And what are your thoughts here on Siege of Shanghai? Like, what do you think that we're going to be seeing coming out from these teams?
Well, I'm going to see from the spawns, but not too many rotations over on the water side. Probably a quick push with maybe three players down at B if you're spawning in on the US side, which is of course by Charlie flag, running outside by the elevators. You get 3 people on the B. You get 1 guy by the car salon in the middle. I don't know what they call that over in the US, but there you can put a guy, and he's really going to try to pick up people trying to come out from A and push out on a B through the middle site. It's a very good position to hold. However, the lion side there, that lion in the middle of the map for
Statue.
Shanghai. Yeah, the statue. Well, it's a lion. It's so cool.
It is a statue, though.
I have to say, if anything, this game.
Is it a lion or is it a dragon? Because we are in China.
Yeah, but it doesn't really look too much like a. I would call it like.
Well, have you seen
dragon.
their dragons? Their dragons don't really look much like dragons, anyways. But
I've only seen Mulan, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Eddie Murphy, man. Oh yeah. So we are going to be live, I believe. I don't know. I haven't got it from the booth yet. But we are going to be seeing everybody in the server. Yeah, so on this particular side right now, we are going to be seeing Epsilon in the US team. Chinese side will be here for InFamous, and InFamous going in for a 3-man push there to our Bravo flag. 4-man push here for Epsilon. I think this is pretty much what we kind of thought was going to be happening here for Epsi, as we do have Warwick now pushing back and using those incendiaries. Incendiaries, the bane right now for Battlefield 4 players.
Oh, take it out, Tony. David turning around, just 64 assists, but yeah, you were saying those incendiaries, man.
Oh, yeah.
They go through everything. I don't know how that works, but there you go. Safe's going to clear it out. Horek, actually, with the ACWR there, switching around. Arella trying to contest, will take the pick over at Safe, but it's already done. Epsilon are going to take the hold of
That's
B.
what they wanted to do. They wanted to flip the map, and they have done just that. Horek will now be set up almost instantly here for the defense onto that alpha flag. Not going to be able to get the frags just yet. We do have 3 players pushing in. Horek not able to get any of those frags, so InFamous keeping control of that alpha flag. We'll be able to get at least 4 players up and alive. So really it's going to be up to Zamir to make some kind of a play. If he can hold off on C, which you don't really see double gimmies a whole lot on this particular map. That's not really something that is very viable, but it can actually be used for 30 seconds or so, get a nice little bleed in your favor, and they will be able to get the lead here in just a few seconds if they can get control of this B site.
Well, Duke is going to take out 1, turning around. He knows that there might be some guy. There we go, 2 guys just perfectly in the line of fire for Rella, and Tony is going to shoot him down immediately. David spawning in on the back of Charlie there, trying to push, but Safe going all the way from the water side, all the way by the cars, and that's not going to work too well. There's Yassine that's just waiting for that shot. Yassel Jazer is waiting right outside on A, but Safe is going to just opt for the middle push. Zam trying to contest, but is going to get shot down from behind, and that's going to allow Epsilon to push, as Yas is just waiting on the side, dropping down an A, trying to push people outside of the flag for just a bit. Meg throwing down incendiaries, trying to, oh, there you go, the pick already done. Safe is cleared out, but InFamous with a complete rush onto A. Rella pushing in from behind. The hipfire will finish off the capture for Epsilon, and the double onto the second there. Perfect shot onto Mayak, and will really clear it out, but a bit of too much of a push, I would say, from InFamous onto A.
This happens right here. You have to kind of make a decision. Do we overcommit on A, make sure we get that flag, which I do agree with InFamous right there. Get control of that alpha flag. It's a lot easier to push back out. Once you do have A, you can slow push down into B. You have a lot more cover to work with. You don't have to worry about as many lanes to get back raged on. The spawns aren't as bad either, but here we go. We do have Mayak trying to hold off here in a nice little 2-on-2 situation. Looks like he will be successful, and that's going to be basically a full wipe. We have 1 player left up and alive. That will be Tony to try and hold on to this alpha flag, and Duke might be able to get the kill. No, he is not. That will be Tony getting the frag, but C and B will still be staying in their possession, and they're looking very, very good right now. Epsilon taking that lead, and if you look at right now the tabletop menu, they're spread out very, very nicely here. They're going to prevent a lot of pushes that are going to be able to come up through mid, and especially over there onto that B site, really not really finding any kind of position to push back in. Does get taken down from showroom. So yeah, this right here is basically the reverse of what you would want. Like, any team wants to have AB, but you can lock down C site. You just got to make sure that you're going to be able to get those frags if they do spawn in behind you.
Well, David was sitting in a pretty good spot there in the showroom. Picks out a couple there, but Yas is actually going to win a pretty darn good fight there versus Duke and get a spawn for his buddy as well. Kurama push it in. Saif is stuck on his own. Will take out Yas, and just turning around here. but he's going to get eliminated from the stairs there, the escalators. Horek still below, trying to provide some spawns, but
1-on-2 right now with Mayak onto that B site. Looks like so far they are going to be able to hold on to it.
oh, look at David.
It's going to be interesting here. Duke, though, coming in from semi, will be able to pick up at least one, maybe with the nade. And they have been able to push InFamous off of this burn once again. InFamous still able to get control of that C site, but I think Epsilon has been able to flip that map, holding onto that B flag, and Mayak looking really darn good here as the anchor, which is normally what you see Mayak playing, is in that anchor role, anchor position. And he's now deciding, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and push on up, see if I can cause any more damage over here onto that Charlie flag. They may actually go in for a touch here, as we do have safe with those back C spawns. And if they can secure themselves a 3 cap, that is going to be a very, very bad situation for InFamous.
Well, it's not working too well here. Duke's just able to finish them one by one. Zom the only person up there, but he's going to get shot immediately. Meg from the side as well. Epsilon going for C as we speak, and forcing the A respawn there for everybody on InFamous. That's going to take quite some time for InFamous to get back into, like, they have a couple of people there by long trying to push up onto B, but they're very exposed, and Horek doesn't need to push them. He just sits there and waits for the picks, and he's got a buddy on the side that's Duke to just wait out. We'll take one, turning around for the second, but he's going to get shot down from the side that is Tony as well as Zom. Zom being blocked out by the incendiary there. Yas trying to push up, but Horek is just watching the side onto B. He's able to delay them quite a bit. 4 people forced to push onto there.
Oh,
Mayak getting
here.
this. Oh, wow, that's fantastic plays. Mayak is still up, and he's got safe as well to help him out. They're pushing back onto the flag. Not too good of a rush there. Mayak a bit too aggressive in that position there by the showroom on B. With David and, well, one of his buddies there, Horek, is spawning in on A, and they're going to try to go for the double gimme, but immediately...
Yeah, safe here is going to be a very key person, as he does spot out one coming down below escalators. Can he get the frags here? Needs to be able to pick it up, and he does take down. Really beautiful play right there. We do see some more spawns coming back in. Crema does go down. There's the double gimme that we were talking about before. Horek, now basically the only guy left up and alive for Epsilon on this side of the map, as he does pick up one. Yes, he is going to be able to get the kill. 2 more, though, are going to be there for InFamous to try and make the play. 3 now, as a big spawn bomb will be happening, but the defense is maybe too strong here for Epsilon. David 2K now, he is going to be the only one up. So we're just seeing back and forth action on top of this alpha flag. But the thing you got to watch out for is that bleed. 103 to 43 here at the moment is a 60 ticket game in favor of Epsilon. Now, we have been able to see massive ticket switches here, but David still on a rampage is going to be able to take down one more. Can't pick up the second one there, as he does eventually go down, but that is a fairly hefty lead to have to come back from. But again, on this particular map, it can be done. We'll see if they can actually hold off Epsilon on another one of these big plays here onto that B flag.
Well, that's the thing. Epsilon were pretty much making the plays. They were forcing InFamous into a defensive or an offensive position there. They were making the plays. So InFamous not really taking the good decisions to try to push from one side to the other. A couple of pushes fared pretty well, trying to push onto C, and then from that on to B. But immediately, Epsilon are going to force them back onto A and force those respawns on the other side of the map, allowing them to push back again onto B and retain that. And that's exactly what's happening here. Safe and his guys from Epsilon just spreading around. However, one guy getting taken down, Safe getting shot down. Rella just pushing up, but he's already getting pushed there. Mayak is just watching from the side, but he gets taken out. Zom with a pretty darn good frag there in the middle, and Rella, it's all up to him there. Push on to C, take control of that. Duke spawning in by the C side for the US. Gonna try to pick a magnum shot there with the headshot. No, not gonna work too well.
Yeah, look at the fight over here onto that B flag. We do have a 3-on-3 situation.
Oh my God,
very
Duke.
good back and forth, as we are going to be seeing Epsilon now wiped up off of that Bravo flag. Looks like Duke PT will be able to stay alive onto that C side, as he is going to be able to get the cap. Now 1-on-1, we do have Yasili here coming in for a back rage, successfully taken down Safe. Not the second one though. He is going to be fairly low. Crema trying to decide where he wants to push back in. I think that he probably should have pushed in instead of backing out like that. Well, he did have some teammates coming in from behind, so in all, it did work out. But 79 to 18, and you know, we might be seeing another comeback here towards the very end of this match. 77 tickets, not a bad ticket to actually you know, have at this moment, but 18 tickets left. They have 4 people up and alive. Should have plenty of spawns back in here with that AB setup. If InFamous is able to get another round of kills here as they are attacking on the alpha flag. They should be able to hold on to this. Nice job there for BCilly, as he will be able to pick up one. Not going to be able to get the second one. Where's the rotation? No rotation here. 2 players going down inside mid for InFamous.
And Rella's still up on B, not really pushing anywhere.
Well, he didn't really need to. He's got to be able to play anchor there in that situation. Very lucky spawn, though, from Zam. He's going to be coming back in on top of Statue.
David traded out there.
Too much there for Horik. Horik coming in from the backside, and that, my friend, I think, is going to be the nail in the coffin. 3 cap, they will be able to finish this off with 60+ tickets. 6 left right now for InFamous. We don't even see the spawns coming in for InFamous just yet, as soon as it does, 1 more kill, and that is going to be it. So 66-0 in favor of Epsilon for map number 2.
Not impossible to come back from those, 66.
Yeah, but the problem right now is that InFamous had the better side. InFamous has the better breakout side. So in that situation, you want to be able to hold that A-B hold a lot longer than what they did. Now, Epsilon had a fantastic breakout. They were able to flip the map very, very fast, and that's what InFamous is going to have to do. InFamous has to flip the map. If they're not able to do so, they're going to get crushed very, very quickly, because Epsilon, they know how to lock that down. They know how to lock down that A-B setup. You basically have, 1 sitting over there on Statue, 2 in mid, 1 over there on Pillar, and then 1 on back B. And you can kind of just do what Safe was doing. Safe, walking around the map, kind of poking in here and there. He got a couple of good back rages there onto the C site. Not necessarily there to cap the flag, just to get a couple of frags. And if they need to rotate, he's there to rotate. And that's what Epsilon was able to do. They were able to have those players in those key positions. And overall, they just had better map control. I mean, it was just better map control. Also, Duke PT dropping a 20 bomb, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that is for sure. I mean, Epsilon not only were playing it very well with the frags, but as you were saying, they had the very good rotations. And Safe very much used to that high-stress environment where he's not only holding a flag, but he's trying to push from side, poking around, trying to get those couple of picks, and then push up when he needs to with his teammates. But InFamous, a bit too slow on the rotations.
Well, on this particular map, you don't really have to worry about holding A or C. Like, those flags are not the super critical flags to have to hold. Yeah, you want A, and I do put a lot of emphasis on that alpha flag. You do want to have that as much as possible. B flag, though, is the one you want to anchor, because you can hinge off of that Bravo flag. If you need to rotate to C, you can. If you need to rotate to A, you can. Once you're wiped off of Bravo, it's a lot harder to come back in on the map, especially on that C side. Very, very difficult. So 31 seconds left before we get started here. And we are going to be seeing, I think, we are going to be seeing... Yeah,
there we go. Spawning it on the US side, we have the guys from InFamous. They're going to be playing pretty well. Let's see if they can come back from this. Not a lot, 66 tickets. If they can get the good rotations, I can see it coming. It might be going to a 3rd map, but on the Chinese side, it's
going to come down to the start. It's going to come down to the start. InFamous has got to flip the map.
But Epsi, very good off of the start. It's not unusual that we see Epsilon really winning that start and really gaining control of the 2 flags. And there we go, we're off, as InFamous really have quite a bit of work to do. Meg pushing down for the middle, a couple guys going down on the B, and it's 4-man push. Rel will be the first one to get shot down. Meg putting a nice frag there for the start, getting some shots downrange, and that's already 2 people taken down from, the 3rd, there we go, from InFamous. Can Kremlin hold it? No!
Beautiful job from Horik right there, getting the 2-piece, 1 on Statue, 1 coming back in onto the Alpha flag. And this is what I'm talking about. Epsilon with that beautiful hold for Alpha Bravo setup. They're going to be able to lock down this middle push here in just a few seconds. And, if InFamous is not going to be able to react off of this fast enough, they will be going down quite a few tickets here right from the start. And this is not what they need to have. Now, we do see a 3-man push coming in onto that A side. Looks like Zam is going to be leading the charge here, winning out on that burn, but he's the only player right now on the burn. As David 2K coming in from behind and definitely going to be easily taking him down. Crema getting shot from both sides. Not really a chance for him to stay up and alive. Meg finishing that back off. And we are going to be seeing a 3-cap coming back in. Duke PT trying to get the Magnum shot. He wants that montage moment, but stolen out from a teammate of his. And this is probably the worst possible situation that InFamous can get in, but this is what I was talking about. You have got to switch the map. You've got to flip the map. If you go for a 4-man push, has to work. You cannot fail on them.
Yeah, but it's already weighing pretty hard here on the guys from InFamous. It's already 25 tickets down. Epsilon are up and playing very well off the breakout. They're, trying to poke around here, but InFamous with Rella trying to push it from the side. He cannot get the revive on a Yas, and 3 men from Epsi spawning in. David's trying to take him out easy peasy there by the crate as Tony is just watching each one of the sides. Taken down again at the showroom, and they're forcing those respawns again by the seaside, not allowing those rotations.
Yeah, if you look at it right now, pushing up very aggressively. Now, I do like the fact that they are pushing aggressive. I don't think they should put 2 onto that seaside. I do think Epsilon should at least have 1 sitting over there on Charlie's side, just to basically keep them pinned back in their own spawn, keep them honest, if you will. And this is the classic setup right now to hold on to Alpha and Bravo. We are going to be seeing really, though, with a good pickup onto that Bravo site, we'll start to win out onto that burn, but 99 tickets to 143. And remember, 66 tickets. Okay, 66 is what they had in round number 1. That is not a whole lot here to come back from. They have about 30 or 20 actually left, I believe.
You go below that, you're done. That's it. That's GG. Meg getting shot down. Well-placed frag there from Krema onto the middle. Tony will get the trade with Horek. And InFamous are in control of A and B. They forced the spawn rotations there from the 2 teams, but a bit late.
This right here, I want to be positive, Milos. I do. I want to be positive. I want to believe in InFamous right now. But 94 to 129, we're going to be seeing Epsilon once again pushing back in onto mid, right coming out of Ice Cream Shop. Now they are getting a couple of frags going in the favor here. Of InFamous, but to be honest with you, too much time is left. Too many tickets are left up on the board for them to burn this down. I mean, this is going to be a near impossible situation, as we do have really sitting on top of Statue, getting incendiaries from every which way, and that is such an irritating position to be in, and he does finally get taken down. Now Meg could be pushing in with that 44 Magnum, not going to be getting any of those shots coming up, as we do have a possible back rage from Safe, and I like this play right now, going in for B and for a back rage. It kind of splits out InFamous as to where they want to go.
Now, InFamous don't really know what's coming here. They only saw Safe, who was pushing him from the side. Meg spawns in, gets the frag, well played there, so that's Tony shot down, and they have the spot to coach in onto A. They're going to force the rotation from Krema, from the push on B and C all the way on to A, and they're just rotating again and again, forcing those respawns from InFamous in place that they don't want. Meg trading down for 1. Safe's going to try to push it here, but too many people spawning in for InFamous for him to actually contest that. Tony trying to push in from is going to get shot down immediately there. Safe waiting for him, as Krema waiting for the incendiary to come in. There you go. Push him from the side. Get some shots, some fire down. And they will. This
is looking very, very good right now for Epsilon. They're going to be able to split InFamous up. InFamous has to make a decision. Do we go back for A? Or do we try to rotate to C? They went back for A flag, which is probably the best in their I guess, options that they could have had. But again, another really good 93R kill there from Relay. I think he's picked up like 3 of them so far in this matchup right now. But B flag will be getting contested right now. Epsilon, 3 players sitting on top of Semi, will be able to win out in the cap. Zam going down, but there's that rotation coming in onto that C side. So it does look like finally they're deciding, you know what, maybe we need to get a little bit crazy here. Go for this 2 flag, because what do they got to lose? It's the last map possibly here in the series. They're down tickets, they're down points. 80 tickets left for them. Less than that, actually, about 10 tickets in order for them to come back and win this particular match, take it to a possible game number 3 in this best of 3 series. But Epsilon may look too strong here, as they will be able to lock down C and B, and we've seen them hold this very successfully in the previous round.
Yep, Rella getting taken down there before trying to push onto the ice cream shop, as David's going to hold up there, and just it's off to Epsilon now to form a defensive line over the middle by the showroom, and, well, try to push in between the crates in the middle, and Zam, the only person alive, shot down easy peasy there. Rella pushing in from behind, 1 ticket left on the marker, and that's going to be it. The Epsi boys are going to take it versus InFamous 2-0.
Which I don't think was too big of a surprise. I mean, Epsilon was the favorite coming in here. I would have liked to have seen a 2-1. I thought that InFamous, you know, what really curious here, especially, is because, you know, InFamous looked really good there on lockers. They were going, you know, frag for frag really consistently there in that second round of lockers. So I thought maybe they were going to be heated up enough to come in, but they looked very bad on that. I mean, that's the only way to put it. They looked very bad there on Siege of Shanghai, especially when they had the better side of the map. When they had the Chinese side, you've got to be able to lock that down. And both times they allowed Epsilon to come out with a really quick 2-0 or 2 cap. And then in that second round with that 3 cap, You just cannot, like I said, you have got to make those 4-man pushes work, and they just were not able to make them work. So props right there to Epsilon. They are going to be able to win out their first match here of the weekend, and they're going to be feeling pretty good. They're going to be facing off, well, actually, don't know who they're going to be facing off here next. I think it's going to be, go ahead and take a look. But anyways, we have some really, really exciting matches coming up. I believe InFamous and Legionnaires will be next.
Yeah, they're going to be playing for the spot to continue on. Yeah. It's the French versus the Australians. It's going to be a very, very good game. Legionnaires, a bit outgunned versus a team like Fnatic, as yourself and Machine were casting that.
With the way InFamous played there, I think Legionnaires has a chance.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The boys from Down Under can bring it back?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they do. I'm really excited to see what they're going to be coming up with because, to be honest with you, they had to play Fnatic first. That's almost a guaranteed loss. You're not going to win against Fnatic.
It's a very difficult
We're going to go ahead and cut to Safe right now and see how he's feeling right now after that win.
He's always feeling pretty well, though.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, Brett FX and Milos. I am here with Safe of Epsilon. Strong game from you guys, another 2-0 we have seen. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Locker Room, obviously the first map that we saw. A couple points there, we actually started to see InFamous really turn things around and start to, creep things back on you guys. I could see a little bit of frustration as well. You guys are a loud team. What happened for you guys there? How did you lose that kind of control and how did you regain it?
I mean, it's one of our weaknesses, and we are aware of that. It's just miscommunication, and some of the players try to go for the glory. So it's just about to shout out loud and wake everyone up and say, we're gonna do this, and everyone's gonna listen. So yeah, we were a bit nervous there, but we knew we were on control. It's just about to get into the game again and focus and communicate.
Let's talk about Siege of Shanghai, of course, our second map of that series. Often considered to be quite a frag-heavy map. A lot of kills, a lot of run and gun action sort of happening on that one. Did you guys have an overarching strategy there? Were you looking for sort of like an A-B hole perhaps or anything in particular? Or was it, as has been said before, just a matter of trying to get the kills?
Well, our main focus is to get the B flag. It's very important and it gives us easy access to A and C. But we didn't have any specific strategy besides the startups in game, and we just played our A game, I guess, and yeah, that was basically communication and good team play.
So now this puts you to the top of obviously the group, along with Fnatic. Now, we know last time you faced off against them in the finals, it was a very, very close game and it sort of let it get away from you guys. Now, you were playing for Epsilon at the time. No, you weren't, but were you playing for them at that event? Last full finals? Were you with... No, okay, you weren't. Exactly, right. So how do you think it's going to be different this time? When you go up against them, you're going to have, obviously, the winner's game and potentially the final if you guys make it there. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, we're pretty confident, and I think we can take out Fnatic. I always thought that. It's just about to have a good day. They are a very strong team at LAN and online. It doesn't really matter to us. So if you play our A game and we focus, we can take them out. Shouldn't be a problem, so.
You heard it here first. Thank you very much, Safe, for joining me. Always an emphatic statement to leave us with the man. Well, now that we've heard a little bit from Epsilon, we're going to be looking forward to our next match. Let's pass it back over to our casters desk now and get their thoughts.
All right, well, thank you for that. Yeah, Safe right there, feeling very, very confident, I would have to say. I think he needs to feel confident.
He has to be confident.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, they have a reason to be confident. I mean, Epsilon's a very solid team. They've seen Fnatic in the finals before. They haven't seen Fnatic in the finals with Safe, and I think that could be a possible deal changer right there.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely going to be an interesting one coming up. But yeah, so do you think Epsilon is going to be able to go very far in this tournament after that showing?
I believe in the Epsi boys.
Me too.
I believe you might say I would be a bit of a fanboy of Epsilon. Even my hairdresser's shop is called Epsilon.
Oh
I love
God.
Epsilon.
I love Epsilon too, but not that much.
Not that much, that's for sure.
Yeah, so anyways, guys, after this break, we are going to be coming back with our next match, which will be Legionnaires versus InFamous. So definitely stick around for that, and we'll see you here in a little bit.